Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Sports Scope. I'm your host, Robert Butler, on this night, September 11th day, uh, anniversary of 9/11. Got the Mad New Yorker backstage, uh, unfortunately, but we never want to forget something like that. Got a great show with you for tonight, though. Got NFL talk, five biggest games. We'll touch up on uh, the Tennessee Georgia game. Looks pretty good, and of course, I even get a comment on the Alvarez, Canelo Alvarez, and of course Terrence Crawford fight there, folks. So stand by. We'll take our first and only break, and we'll be back here running here in about just a few shortly here on the Real Sports Scope. If I can get us situated. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to sports, that is sports with an S, another S, scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. All righty then, and we got the Mad New York. Good to see you, buddy.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Not too bad today. I mean, all things considered, that's 9/11 and the fact that I had that incident last night with was it Charlie Kirk got assassinated. I thought that was pretty gruesome. But this is a sports show. A lot of sports is escapism and escape all the crazy, harsh realities that we have to deal with on a day-by-day basis. I've got me a new chair here, and I'm adapting to it, and I'm adjusting my lighting, so I'm a little bit sideways. So how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Busy time. Thanks for having me on tonight. Happy Thursday. I'm ready to roll, man. It's football time,
Yeah, it's football time. Side note, there's a game tonight. I almost forgot. Green Bay, Washington at Green Bay. I mean, I like Green Bay to take it at home, but no opinion there, no big opinion from my perspective. What do you think about that game?
I think Green Bay did a good job winning last week, but I don't think they're deep enough. I think Washington's going to try to, get on the winning streak here, and this is a good team to play. They added a defensive piece when they needed to add more offense, and right now I don't think that offense is potent enough to put a dent into what Washington's trying to do. So we'll see what happens. So
yeah. Good deal. Those games always catch me by surprise for some reason. Okay. Talk about last week there, man. I guess we'll go with Baltimore. I broke that game off. I went to bed. Like I said the other day, usually the time that game comes on, I'm emotionally exhausted anyways because I'm watching football from noon Central to about 6 o'clock, and then you're hollering at the TV and stuff. That energy starts to wear down. Although I thought it was a pretty good, quarter and a half there, but I just kind of got worn down to the 15-point lead. I said, man, Ravens really doing this thing in, taking care of the rock. And then I lay down for a few minutes, couldn't go to sleep, and looked back up, and they came back and won that game in dramatic fashion, 41-40. What's your thoughts about that game? Kind of a wild one there, wasn't it, up in Buffalo?
Yeah, and I thought that the Ravens would get 30 plus points. I had them winning with the 30 plus points, but I didn't think Buffalo was going to come back. And I think that's what happens is it's the beginning of the season. I think the Ravens defense just kind of got tired. They looked tired. Buffalo's offense looked tired until towards the end of the game. If there wasn't a quarterback to bring them back, So
Yeah.
he is an MVP quarterback. You can't not deny that. That offense still needs a lot of help. Even though they did pick up some points there, and I don't feel like that game should have went one way because, but I just the beginning of the season, so both teams looked actually tired by the third quarter, both of them. But Buffalo did a good job staying in the game. The quarterback did a good job keeping them in the game, and they took advantage of that tired defense. And um, we'll see what they're going to be able to do. I mean, Buffalo fans celebrate like it's a Super Bowl, which like I guess they
Yeah. Well, it
can,
was a
but
pretty dramatic win. What was it? What was it? 15 points in the last 3 minutes. I had to go back and check. I don't remember them.
yeah. But I mean,
It
I
was a
get look.
crazy, scenario where it just don't normally happen like that.
Yeah, celebrate fine, have fun. You're at the game. But
16 points in 4 minutes ago. I mean, golly. Uh,
look, I mean,
you know,
at the end of the day, like unless Josh Allen learns how to do the Tom Brady discount, that Buffalo will never win the Super Bowl. So that's the way I look at it, and they can have fun doing that, but that's not the way it's going to end up for them. And I don't feel like this year they're deep enough, anyways, to do so to make a run. So I think
well,
this
their
is
defense really looked bad there at times,
yeah. I
giving up
mean,
177 against Derrick Henry. And, he always seems to gash the Bills. Now, he gave up that big fumble that pretty much cost them the game. If it wasn't for that fumble, this is a win by
yeah,
Baltimore.
yeah, and I think it was a good job by one of the older defensive players to get himself and get the team in the game that way. But yeah, that's not a big Derrick Henry move, anyways. He's not a big fumbler, so but that was a momentum shift. But that defense was gassed, man. They didn't
Yeah.
they weren't able to stop Allen, and they gave him so much time with the ball to just make plays, and there was just not enough um stamina for this defense. So, but you know,
Yeah,
um
they have an issue about giving up leads
yeah,
late in games the last few years. I remember gave up a big lead late to Miami a couple of years ago. A lot. It's usually in September and October. I don't know if the team is not caught because of all these restriction and as far as practicing and everything and mini camps and preseason. But they get better as the season goes along. They're a very talented team, Baltimore. Do you think there's any issue with John Harbaugh being on the hot seat? The fact that he does give up a lot of big leads for the Ravens.
yeah, but I don't think he's on the hot seat. It's the man. At the end of the day, the team's got to play. Like they got to do what they got to do, and if anybody should be in trouble right now, it should be the league. Looking at how some of these scores have gone crazy because it's the first games for the NFL, and then a lot of these teams, and they really don't look like they're prepared to play. So, that's
Yeah.
the way I look at it. I don't. If people are talking about John Harbaugh being in the hot seat, that's something that I think it's people just trying to put out in the media. I don't.
Yeah.
Um,
I
he's
would
been in the
totally dismiss it. I mean, he's been there over 10 years.
right.
I think he actually said it that Lamar saved my job. It was getting a little stale with Flacco.
Right.
And, I think maybe they possibly could move on, but I don't know who you'd get. I mean, they got a good running game. They got a good defense. I don't know what else you can get out of this team. Is a new coach going to make Lamar better in the playoffs? I don't know. I mean, it would be a tough call. I'm sure to go all the way up to the ownership to make that call.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not. He doesn't go to game 6 or 7 of the NFL week and be like, all right, he expects his star players, his high paid players to get injured. Like that's not. Nobody expects that. It happens, but no, the expectation isn't there that the guys that you need to be on the field aren't on the field. I mean that happens to almost all the teams, anyways. Especially because it's football. So
Yeah,
that's why you have to be careful on how you sign players, who you sign, and how much money you're giving them. Because at the end of the day, if you're strapped for cash, you can't get any more players to build that depth, and that's a situation that a lot of teams
yeah.
have.
It's a big. You have to have that capologist, man. That's true. I think the same thing myself. Minnesota. Let's go to that Monday night game. Just jumping around. Chicago, Minnesota. Thought we had that one. By the way, I'm up one. By the way, in the whole pick'em thing, we were up. Both picked Chicago. we look to be right most of this game up to the fourth quarter. I just get a sense that O'Connell made some, and Brian Flores, that coaching staff, made some second half adjustments. And of course, looks like they kind of figured out Caleb Williams. And of course, J.J. McCarthy kind of got comfortable with what Chicago was doing and kind of come out on his own. It's this first real start. Remember, he got hurt in training camp last year. It was a great win for Minnesota. Very frustrating for Chicago to lose at home like that. What's your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I think it's bad for Chicago because they had J.J. McCarthy on the ropes. He didn't.
Yeah,
he
had a
looked
pick
sloppy.
six. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked sloppy. He didn't look like he was, in the game at all. And then all of a sudden, you see that he's starting to make a few, a little run here, and he's starting to gain confidence. And then he makes the throw, and all of a sudden he's in the game and he's back focused. And Chicago wasn't waiting for that to happen. And then, the field goal, the kicker missed the field goal, and so small things end up spinning and turning, and like I literally had the score with, I believe, 6 minutes left in that game, and all of a sudden it just turned, and after the field goal kick was missed, it just turned, and that's all right. That's football. Like, it's competitive, and I wasn't expecting it though from Chicago to not be ultra competitive, especially the way they came out, right? You're like, oh wow, Caleb Williams is in control of the game. Like, he's making runs, he's making throws, and you're like, okay, so there's a flow to this game. And then they kept bringing him and showing him up. Ben Johnson, some guru. That's the reason they got him, and then just fall flat and not. And then you ended up going for the field goal, which you could have probably went out there and went for it, to be honest with you, because the defense was so tired for Minnesota. But they gave him that opportunity, and then sometimes all it takes is that one play, like what happened with the Ravens. It's one mistake, and then just the whole team around, everything just kind of falls down from beneath you. So
yeah, they had Jordan Addison was suspended, left tackle didn't play. I'm talking about Minnesota, and Chicago still finds a way to lose that game.
Right.
And I was thinking yesterday, talking about on the program, it looks like now it's still early with Ben Johnson, but I'm starting to get the sense that maybe Caleb Williams, it may just be an average starting to slightly above average starting quarterback. That's top end. Low end could be a bust in the NFL. He's starting to look more kind of like either like a Baker Mayfield or a Kyler Murray type of guys. Both played under Lincoln Riley. It seems like I'm getting that gist that he's just getting separated more and more from the number 2 overall pick, which is Jayden Daniels. Is it too early to say that? Have that assessment about Caleb Williams?
Well, we talked about it when he got drafted. We said that he should have gone. He should have been in the top 10, but not in the top.
Right.
10.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair right now to just go ahead and label him and whisk him away. He's got talent. You saw it on Monday night. You saw that he could actually get on a run. You saw that he can focus in and try to get things done. But you got to just keep that momentum going. And when the defense came up and did their job, then they couldn't get back on another run, and then they go and kick a field goal. The field goal doesn't go in. What I just, when you got a team like that can be dynamic, why are you depending on a field goal? It's my thing. It's like, you're such an offensive guru, right? Like, why would you say, like, you kick the field goal because you don't got that much time left, and you want to come back and maybe try another drive or something. But I mean, I'm not sure that was a good decision for them to just. Because what happens is there was no flow on that play, man, and I don't know. I just and
yeah.
But to get back to Caleb Williams, I think he's very competitive. He has, you can tell that he has talent, and it's up to this new coach and the QB coach to put him out there and get the best out of him and all his skill set. I think the problem with these guys who come in, these quarterbacks who come in, as much as they got a lot of potential, these coaches have terrible game plans for them because they want them to fit a certain mold, and they don't let these guys play up to their potential. So I think if anything, that's the biggest black hole that the NFL has to kind of get over. So.
Well, I just believe that it's very early. Now, only criticisms I can have early on of Ben Johnson, it does kind of look like he's trying to force his system on Caleb Williams rather than putting his system around Caleb Williams' skill set per se. Right. Now, that might not be all the way true. We have to figure that out from what you hear and what you see. It's just one game, but they're still loaded with talent. I think they got a rough shot coming in this week against Detroit. But we'll see because they're coming off a short week.
Yeah. One last thing about Caleb Williams. I'd like to see him run diagonal towards the sideline instead of backwards. That's
a lot of these rookies do that here. Like, I don't know why they like to do that. They still think they're in college, man.
It's crazy. Like, don't bootleg and then make another bootleg out of the defense. Like, just hit the diagonals and save yourself for the next play. I mean, it's so hard to get yards in the NFL. Going backwards is just,
defenses are too disciplined. Although they didn't look good this weekend, traditionally defenses just do not play well early in the year. September, a lot of stuff worked up. A lot of our teams are fully healthy. New plays put in. There's not a lot of film on folks. Even, there's no film on some new plays that the OCs cooked up. I mean, who thought the Jets would score what they scored? Pittsburgh scored what they scored.
Yeah.
We thought that would be a baseball score. That's kind of like it's early September type of games. You're not going to see that in December.
And I was happy for the Jets because they were competitive. They were in the game. I had this feeling that something was going to happen and turn over with Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the field. I mean, if you don't think that, then you haven't been watching football for the last 20 years. No matter how hurt Aaron Rodgers is or how old he is, and I say this saying that I think he's already past his time.
Well, way past his prime, yeah.
You gotta just give you gotta understand how competitive the guy is. Now that doesn't mean that he has an edge over. He didn't have an edge over the quarterback, but he had enough. He gave that opportunity enough for Pittsburgh to stay in the game, and that defense for Pittsburgh. I mean,
all that money they spent, not really that good.
No, but that
Jets
defense
ran all over them.
That safety knocked the crap out of Jabril Wilson, trying to get that catch, man. That was that was some solid hitting, and so but that was a decent game.
It turned out way better than I thought, even though we didn't put that on there. But that fact that you're the Mad New Yorker, that is the New York team. September football, Jets do have something to ride on with that running game. We'll see. I mean, Fields wasn't that bad. I don't think they're still going to be great. I had that as a loss going in. Some people actually picked the Jets to win that game. I wasn't one of those people. Green Bay, man, played well, played better than I thought they would. Even though I did pick them to win, Micah Parsons, 45% of the snaps, but he got a sack in there. Man, they look great defensively. Detroit looked really lost out there. What's your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I felt like, again, that their defense didn't need any extra help. They were in the top 10 last season, and they need more offensive power. But look, they got what they needed to get out of their offensive players. I felt like they stretched them out a little bit, but it's the first game of the season. I don't think this game again against Washington tonight, I don't think they'll be the same team or do the same things. Washington I feel like has a little bit more depth and is a little bit better on defense. So I think they're gonna struggle. But hey, that for the first game, I didn't think they were gonna win, but they did end up getting a win, and that's good for them. And now it's how many games can they put together and get wins off of? And I don't know if it'll be enough to be in the playoffs this year, but they did play well.
That's your opinion, brother. I mean, I looked at that game and I thought to myself, man, maybe I ranked them too low. I mean, I got them winning the division, the NFC North, and I had San Francisco in the Super Bowl. I think maybe they may get to they may be a Super Bowl team. Now, it's only one game, but the Packers are really solid right now, man. A running game, defense, wide receivers there. They extended Christian Watson, even though he's not back from injury yet. 1
I was
year.
gonna say he's an injury case there, but
Yeah, I
listen,
don't know why they did, but they see something in the guy.
oh, he's got talent for sure. He just ain't got durability, and he couldn't stay healthy last year. I don't think he'll stay healthy this year. But listen, look, I mean, you must be eating a lot of that cheese, man, because
Man,
I again, it's not that I don't.
well, they dominated Detroit, man. I mean,
I think
they were beat by 12. They were down by 21 points last year against Detroit.
Yeah,
I think it was what was the game before? There was 14 points and they had a 20-something point lead on them and gave up a late touchdown.
I'm not a big fan of
destroyed Detroit, man. And you act like they won by a field goal, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, but I'm not a big fan of Detroit either. And I
okay, gotcha. All right, that makes sense.
I did say on the show last week that that's going to be one of the biggest wild cards of who's actually going to win that division, because they're all kind of, to me, I feel like they're all mediocre, but everybody's like, that's the toughest division in the NFC. And I was like, I don't know about that, because the teams aren't balanced in depth on both sides. There's not one team that's like great. So, but saying that, I feel like a lot of people putting a lot of stake on Detroit because of what they've been able to do the last 2 years. But again, they have lost a lot in players and in coaching, and so this year they're trying to mend it and put it together. And I'm not sure if they're going to have enough to make a run. So, but
yeah.
Who did I pick for that game?
Early. It's early.
I picked Green Bay for that game. I didn't think Detroit was going to win that.
No, you picked Detroit.
I did?
Yeah, you picked Detroit and you picked Buffalo, or you picked Baltimore, and that was the difference in us winning. Yeah, you always pick against Green Bay.
Yeah, I thought that Detroit would win by like maybe like a field goal or something. I knew that was going to be a close game.
Yeah. I hear you, dude. I hear you, man. I think Detroit will bounce back this week, but I think we talk about that game later that they play against Chicago. Man, the Chargers, man, I heard this on the I was watching it. I tuned in at like 9:30, which was about 3 hours in, 2.5 hours in, excuse me, on that YouTube channel. I was still doing Uber, and I was surprised at how many third downs completed. And Greg Roman, and somebody pointed out, I think it was Rich, I think it was Kurt Warner, saying Greg Roman is calling a well of a game. And I thought he sure the heck is. Steve Spagnuolo, he was timing up his blitzes perfectly. And that's how you really defeat a blitz, is throw a screen over it. And he was timing it up, man. I thought Justin Herbert played great. Love that Justin Herbert third long late in the game, gets that third long, pretty much seals the game. Jim Harbaugh, man, 6-0 as opener in openers as the NFL head coach. Pretty impressive there for him. Chiefs kind of look like got some secondary issues there. Offensive line did well, but a great win there for the Chargers. What do you think about that game?
Yeah, I just think the Chargers went in there being more competitive. Herbert was in there carrying the team and just trying to, do it up. You saw that he was pressing, but it actually worked in his favor. The Chiefs defense didn't look like the Chiefs defense of last year, and the offense didn't look like the offense of last year. I felt like they were a little flat. And so I was hoping that the Chiefs scored at least 27 points, and I feel like the point was like, it was flipped on me. Like I was thinking it was going to be flipped up the other way around, and I was surprised that the Chiefs offense is not is with Mahomes. He just still hasn't found a rhythm yet. I mean, he's got a blanket in Kelsey and all that, but it's just, and there's something missing in that Chiefs the Chiefs offensive team, and then I don't know
side of the ball.
Yeah, and
Rice he's there in that suspension, and then Worthy got hurt in that game, and he's been limited all week. I don't even know if he's going to play this week. It don't look good for the Chiefs. Looks like they're going to get off to a rough start, like a typical team that loses the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just
They're
I don't.
hungover. Super Bowl
Yeah,
hangover.
and I don't have them winning much. I have them in the mix of the playoffs, but I don't have them going too deep in the
Right.
playoffs.
Right. I don't have them back in the Super Bowl either.
Right.
I did have them winning the West at the end, but again, it's still early, man. They're going to get rights back. The line is not that bad with the new players there. We'll see how this thing plays out, but they didn't look as good as I thought they would in this particular game. Okay, Tennessee. Listen, man, they had 2 or 3 shots to win that game. Actually, I thought they were in control of that game. Most of it caused 4 turnovers for Bo Nix. Like I said, and I put the clip out this morning, Brian Callahan a little too careful with Cam Ward, very Jeff Fisher. Some of you older type fans, too much running the ball up the middle, playing scared. When your defense turn the ball over 4 times for you and put you in so much position there. But I like the way they finally woke up in the second half, and particularly in the fourth quarter, throwing the ball. You just had 4 drops because you was running it too much. Denver's defense played great. They had the best defense of the week this particular week, with the yards and everything. What's your thoughts about that game, Tennessee-Denver, man?
Yeah, I think just like Herbert, Nix was pressing, but he was pressing so much that he made mistakes. There was
Ward,
no Nix, Bo Nix.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like that's where the turnovers go, where he's trying to do a little bit too much. But that's okay. You want the quarterback to be like that, competitive. Cam came out strong. Had a few hits there, but I like that he stayed the course, and he just like sometimes though you kind of like an Eli Manning. You're like, is he in the game? Is he focusing? You're like, what's going on with this kid? Because his facial features is
he's pretty cool under fire.
Yeah. He's monotone.
Sometimes that can be looked as zoned out, but I like a guy that's got that kind of calmness about him, rather than a Peyton Manning who gets overly intense sometimes.
Yeah, just quietly going about his business, and did very well for himself. And I look forward for the kid to even do better. And I'm hoping for this wide receiving core to just do a little bit more for him.
Yeah,
give him a little bit more. And I mean, let's see. He needs a better running game. I think the running game was okay, but he needs a way better running game. If you want to see his arm be used as a weapon, you got to give him a better running game. I think. I don't know. I mean,
some people need a running game like the Jets.
Yeah. So
somebody like that. So this won't count against us. By the way, Green Bay won't count against us either. That Green Bay, Washington, well, not unless you want it to count against us. What's your thoughts? They play Sunday. J.C. Latham's out for Tennessee. That's the right tackle. That's not good for the Titans. But I'll tell you what, the Rams, pretty physical game. Looked a little banged up, looked a little slow. We know that Stafford not 100% with that back. Rams are about a 3.5-point favorite over Tennessee. I think Tennessee keeps it close, but it feels like a 2019 Rams win on the last drive there. I do think the Tennessee, but if you got a score like that, that means it can go the other way. I didn't feel good about that Latham injury. What's your thoughts about the Rams playing against Tennessee in the opener?
Yeah, I think they're not lucky to be playing this team, but they can take advantage and the fact that they're a little bit more youthful than the Rams, and if they can just if they can get a running game going and just keep the ball away from the Rams, they can keep this a close game. And I see that defense performing better for the Titans, and so this is gonna be a close game. Like you said, it can go either way, and I don't think it's more than a 3-point spread, man. It can go 24-21 either way. So,
yeah, that's good. That's what I'll be driving Uber before the game. Be talking to a lot of the Ram fans. I believe that this will be a fun game. Tennessee's healthy defensively.
Right.
Darius Sneed was on a snap count. He's going to get more snaps at the cornerback position. Van Jefferson used to play with the Rams. This is an early start time for the Rams. They're coming from the West Coast. It's a noon Central start time. That's a 2-hour difference. That helps the running game of other teams. The Bears beat them last year. Bears picked 10th last year. If the defense can play like the Bears defense played last year, which they have that capability, they could very well get this win and shock the Rams. I don't know. I just kind of got this feeling they will jump on the Rams early, and the Rams will rally back and beat them in the end, unfortunately.
I think unfortunately this is a kicking game contestant like competition, and whoever kicks the best is gonna win this game.
Right. So this week, what's your thoughts about Jacksonville, Cincinnati? Both of them coming off wins. Jacksonville, although they had a delay there, pretty dominating win over Carolina. Cincinnati squeaks by, but they always squeak. They rarely blow out Cleveland because Cleveland just seems to match up well against them.
Right.
What's your thoughts about that matchup? It's up in Cincinnati, and I'll give you my prediction afterwards.
Well, I thought that there would be more points. I thought Burrow would get going. I thought, this is new season. He's gonna want to win, but that ended up becoming a defensive game. Burrow got hit around a couple of times, and he got back in the game and got refocused. Cleveland, it's Cleveland, man. They're not methodical. They don't, it just takes
They're
some time to
Cleveland,
get.
man.
It takes time for them to get going. So, I didn't watch that game until maybe Saturday. I didn't watch that till like Tuesday night, like before the Monday
You
night
had
game.
it replayed or streamed or whatever?
Yeah, I replayed it streamer because they told me it wasn't that good of a game because I missed it by watching some other games, and I thought I gotta watch.
I watched
watch
them
the game
all on Red Zone. So.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna watch it. No, I saw the whole game, and I was just like, wow, why? I mean, if you were a fan at this game, you had enough time to go get something to eat, something to drink, and not miss much.
Yeah. So who do you think is going to win this game, man? Trevor Lawrence. He's 0-2, but they got a pretty good squad this year. Travis Hunter's playing well. He's just a rookie. What's your thoughts on the winner of that game? Cincinnati at home against Jacksonville. What's the actual winner there?
Yeah, this is going to be a battle of the defenses, and I think that Joe Burrow will probably try to get back on what he usually does, and that's an average of 27 points a game. So I'm hoping that the Cincinnati can come up and get those points and score 27. And if they score 27, the Jags will just be, I don't know if they can score more, but I think they'll just be at like 21 points, 24 points. I don't think.
So you do like Cincinnati get the win?
Yeah, Cincinnati get the win, and I think they'll win by either by a field goal or a touchdown. I mean, they're not going to win by much.
Okay.
I don't know where Joe Burrow's at as far as where his offense is at, and the running game's still struggling. He needs a running game to exploit his arm as well. And right now, I don't know if he can get the 27 points that you need, like, to at least try to be Joe Burrow status, right? So.
I think it'll be some high scoring in this game. It's going to be good weather up here in Cincinnati today or on Sunday, and I believe the offenses will show up for both squads there.
Man, I hope so.
Huh?
Man, I hope so. It's like
Yeah. Well, sometimes you could just be missing your mark on one week. Then the next week you look at the film, you say, you know what? It was just like Tennessee, man. If they would have started throwing the ball early like that on first down with those timing routes that Cam Ward was throwing, I think that the receivers would have got a feel for it more in the second half. But Cincinnati Burrow looked really ticked off last week. And listen, the Browns were a playoff team 2 years ago, and they did get Mason Graham they got Mason Graham at defensive tackle with the 5th pick overall, and Myles Garrett had 3 sacks in a row in that game. So Josh Allen Hines is a pretty good player for Jacksonville. I actually think this will be a pretty good wild shootout type of game, 31-27.
Oh, wow.
Bengals win. It'll be a fun one, though. Be a good offensive game, typical September game. So we both agree on that one, man. Seattle, rough game last week. Very physical game. Lost some players. But hey, they're still a very talented team. Sam Darnold, now quarterback. They're coming east against Pittsburgh. Joey Porter Jr. will be out for the Steelers. I still like Pittsburgh. That was my preseason. I picked Seattle to come across the country. Pittsburgh to take advantage in their running game. They'll beat Seattle. Seattle still got a lot of players, though. We'll see what happens. But 23-17, I like Steelers and Aaron Rodgers go 2-0. What do you think about this game, Seattle-Pittsburgh, man?
Now, first of all, who told the 49ers that this was a playoff game? Everybody got hurt in this game.
Everybody, Purdy's out for a few weeks, by the way, folks. I forgot to mention that, bury the lead there, but luckily for them, they're playing the Saints.
They were. It was good that they were out there and doing the thing and playing hard.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, but geez,
that was a grudge match of a game right there.
I think these defenses are going to be out running around trying to hit people. I like this again. The Steelers, they go out and they hit people, and I think they're going to try to match up. The Seahawks are going to try to match.
And DK playing against his former team, I forgot the lead there. DK Metcalf was traded there, remember?
Right. So
he's going to be amped up against Seattle.
Yeah, I think this game will be close. I think the Steelers will win 2 games in a row. Aaron Rodgers will stay in the mode and be competitive. But look, don't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers gets hit and gets knocked out the game.
He took a pretty bad hit in the Jets game, and I didn't think he's going to get up. But he sprung back up, but I'm sure he's sore for about 3 days.
I've been harking about the youth that they've had there for the last 3 seasons, that they've been getting guys, and a lot of them are good and fast. And this is the season they need to start putting it together. And I'm afraid to say the Steelers going to win this game, to be honest with you. But I think this is going to be one of those.
You're saying they are going to win, though.
The Steelers, yeah, but I think this is going to be one of these games that it's going to be kind of like maybe the Buffalo, Ravens game. I think it's going to be good. I think I would put this one on as one of the best.
It's going to be a good one. I think it'll be a good one, especially with that DK Metcalf coming back, playing his old team. He circled it. He's been thinking about it all off season. Detroit's home opener is Sunday. Got humiliated against Green Bay. I do think that they're going to adjust some things offensively. They're going to get with that film. Chicago looks to have some injuries of their own. But relatively in air quotes, these teams are pretty healthy. I think Dan Campbell will have these guys ready to play. 23-17. Again, folks, I know Bears got a lot of talent. I had them going 6-11, losing a lot of close games, just like they did Monday night. Although I had Monday, that was one of their few wins. Not good. It could go the other way. Maybe Detroit still has to work out some things, but I like the Lions at home. 23-17 for the Lions, get the win, and they're 1-1.
Yeah, Jared Goff needs to pick up his game. He needs to pick up his head.
He said he was slow last week. Yeah,
I don't know what he's doing, but he needs to refocus and he needs to get going. I'm not a big fan of Goff, anyways, but you can't be pedestrian. You can't be thinking out there. You got to be doing, and and he's overthinking stuff. Look, the Bears have an opportunity to get a win here, and against the Lions, who are trying to recuperate the losses of some of the players on the team that they lost, and then the coaches, they can go in there and do damage if they start fast and stay competitive. If not, this game's gonna be close, man. It's gonna be like 14-17, man. I'll flip it either way. I'll pick the Lions to win because they're the
home team. Yeah,
they're the home team, but you can flip that score, man. If the Bears end up winning 17-14, don't be.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. That's why
exactly. Don't be surprised. Yeah,
it's within the touchdown.
Yeah, definitely.
Detroit may not have it together, and maybe everything clicks for Chicago, and they come in there and play well.
Just make your freaking field
really
goals.
Start to look at that coordinator then.
Yeah, make your field goals, man. Like that's all you gotta do.
Gotta make those FGs, man. Gotta make those FGs. Your favorite team, it seems like, Tampa. You know, they shouldn't have lost. They got lucky as all get out. I didn't have them picking the division, but I didn't think they was going to win that Atlanta game last week.
Come on, Robert.
Young Wayne Koo, that guy, they was looking for another kicker. I don't know if they cut him or not. Either way.
No. Koo's good. He's a good kicker.
I wouldn't have cut him. I think he just had a brain cramp, personally. I like the guy.
If you're Atlanta,
I'm just telling you what I read this week.
Yeah, if you're Atlanta, though, you shouldn't have been put in that position to try to have him win the game. You had a lot of to tell you had a lot of like opportunity and you had a lot of skill out there. And but listen, man, give credit where credit's due. Baker Mayfield went out there, competitive guy, quit, put the team on his shoulder and showed you why he was the number 1 draft pick, man. I don't like him, but I like him.
Luka played well as well. The rookie I was telling you about it in camp. The rookie wide receiver from Ohio State, 2 touchdowns.
That's the thing about football, right? Like I don't like him, but I like what he's doing. So it's like you gotta respect. You gotta put some respect in his name.
Right. Well, they're playing Houston this week. Houston come off a rough loss, although it looks like Stroud was still finding a way to get rid of the ball. This game is going to be tough, man. But it's played Monday night in Houston. I'm picking Houston to win it 24-21. Last second field goal. Tristan Wirfs is still out, and they still won last week. Well, he's doubtful. They still won last week against. They still won last week against Atlanta, like I said. But Houston's a much better pass rush.
Yeah,
that's my thing. I like the home team. What's your thoughts on that? Maybe Tampa pulls it off, man.
Yeah, I think they'll get a running game going with to try to slow down that defense, which is going to help because the Bucks got like they got 3 good backs over there, 2 good average ones, 1 good one. They can spread it around if they need to, and they got a lot of wide receivers there. They got good hands, so they can throw the ball short or long, and stay in the game and get those yardage. And as long as Baker Mayfield don't throw up no INTs, they're gonna be in the game. And I feel like this is the opportunity for them to get the 2 wins and make them the last playoff team in the NFC. And,
so they're going to win, Tampa?
Yeah, I think they're going to win. And I think it's going to be like 27-21. I think they're going to do
27-21. That would be a huge win for Tampa. This is starting off the season with 2 road wins. That would be huge. They haven't had their home opener yet.
Right.
I'm going with Houston, though. Not that I got a lot of faith in Houston. I'm just measuring up the injury report. I'm slicing and dicing these 2 teams, man.
Yeah, I again.
But I do. Both of these teams won their division 2 years in a row. That's why I put it on the board.
Yeah, and then again, my dark horse team. They're very deep in defense. They're very young in defense. Very fast. So even though
Houston or Tampa?
No, Tampa. Tampa. Yeah. And Houston's very, very good in defense, but the only thing is that they rush so much that you can get those little dink and dunks, and Baker's very good at that as long as he can bootleg and get out of the away from that line. So we'll see, man. We'll see. It's gonna be a close game.
That'll be that pretty decent game.
It's gonna be pretty close, and then they're gonna the better team is gonna kind of after the third quarter they're gonna just get a couple touchdowns and that's it.
Gotcha, brother. Very big game. Philadelphia, Kansas City. Like I said, I don't know about Xavier Worthy playing in this game. Jalen Carter will play. We didn't even talk about Spitgate. I don't understand why Dak Prescott, and I like Dak, but nobody really brought up the fact that why are you spitting on a field that we have to play on that somebody might get tackled in your saliva? Why are you spitting? This ain't because it's like carpet. You know what I'm saying? And then Carter spits back at him and actually spits on him, and you know what happened. What's your thoughts about that situation? Just a quick answer there.
So my thing is that you got caught being dumb, and you gonna get a consequence.
But he will be
And
back this week. Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna play this week, and like, man, just do your thing. Like, you have to understand, man. You're like, he's so young, and I don't think he realizes how much he actually matters to Philadelphia.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and
Dallas
I
almost
think,
beat them because of that.
yeah, and so, but Philadelphia is a better team. They got a lot of guys there, and they've been playing for together for a while, so they're gonna be okay. But you can't do those kind of things, and and he got caught, and it's on tape, and so he can't. It's very hard to fight that, and
Yeah.
just don't do knucklehead stuff, man. Like,
Yeah.
what
Who do you
and the
like in
thing,
this game against KC? It's at Kansas City
yeah,
Sunday afternoon.
I hope that Kansas City can get on the winning formula going, but I'm not sure if they can. So I think Philadelphia is probably gonna squeak this one out. If they can, if Philadelphia can score more than 27 points, they're gonna beat Kansas City because Kansas City's having trouble scoring. So the team
Yeah.
that scores the most will always win. But the guys that get scoring fast is the team that's gonna win. And I feel like Philadelphia will start. You got Saquon, he's gonna get on the board. Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts might score.
Yeah. I think AJ Brown will bounce back this game.
Yeah,
He'll
AJ
have a
Brown's
good
in the
matchup at
game.
corner.
They got a couple of wide receivers there that's going to make that game changer. So I think Kansas City might be looking at an 0-2 start, bro, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Same here. 31-24.
Oh,
The
wow.
road team wins by a touchdown, dude.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, Kansas City.
Yeah, it might be
Kansas
14.
City, if they can block that front and keep it interesting. But I don't know who's going to step up for Kansas City if Worthy don't play. Is it going to be Hollywood Brown? Washed up Travis Kelce did score last week. But,
can you imagine if this game ends up being like 14 to like 10? It's like,
I mean, that would tell me that Kansas City's defense is just playing like Hercules, But
because we
want to say this. Last year they were sluggish off of a long layoff, the Eagles, and they lost to Atlanta.
Right. Yeah,
they did look, but they're the ones that came back from Brazil, not Kansas City. Kansas City coming back from Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to be weird, but yeah, they're going to be 0-2 in my opinion. Talk about college, man. Tennessee, Georgia. You remember a time when they played in September? They always seem to play mid-October. Things are really changing, man. What's your thoughts on that? I'll give you mine afterwards.
Both
the spread is 4.5, by the way. Tennessee, Georgia.
Yeah, both teams are 2-0. Both teams have shown that they have on either side of the ball talent and potential. Tennessee has a talent potential in the defense again this year, and I'm hoping that the offense will pick up a little bit more than where they've been. You got to score points, man. You got to score points, and Georgia the same thing. I think this game will be actually closer because I think both teams are the same. They got good defenses, but they struggle on the scoring part. Yeah. So I think this is going to be a close game, and we might be watching a slugfest, and this one might be like 14-10.
Dang. You know what? Possibly, but there are some injuries on the defensive side for Tennessee. So what's your score, man? My bad.
I think this one is going to probably go. It might hit the over. I
thought you just said 14-10. Possibly.
No. I mean, it could. I mean,
it's hard to get a feel for it. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's very hard to get a feel for it, but I think they might. I think they'll hit the over. I think they're gonna. The defenses will slack at the end of the game, and you're gonna see a few touchdowns, maybe a few mistakes as well. So this one looks like it's gonna be anywhere like a 28 to 17 type of game. And
who wins? Georgia.
Yeah, I think Georgia's gonna win over Tennessee.
Yeah.
I want Tennessee to win, but I think.
You can't quite drink the Kool-Aid like that. Yeah, once I saw those injuries at the linebacker position from Tennessee, my argument. Tennessee, not a lot of push in the middle. They need to get some defensive tackles.
Yeah.
Who beat Georgia last year? Ole Miss. Well, that defensive tackle for Ole Miss, he got drafted to the NFL. He's playing with the Arizona Cardinals with the 14th overall pick. I do like the way this Aguilar's playing this year. One thing that Tennessee fans can hold their hat on is, number one, Gunnar Stockton's not lighting it up. He's not. They played, of course, they played Marshall and Austin Peay. He didn't have any passing touchdowns against Austin Peay. He was pretty sluggish. Maybe they were just looking ahead to Tennessee. They still got a 28-6 win. That being said, Tennessee does seem to close that gap. That spread in the past has been double digits, down to 7, down to 3.5, back up to 4.5. I guess the odds maker's looking at that. I still like Georgia, though. 27-20, Bulldogs win. But Tennessee makes it interesting. They make it interesting. They made it interesting last year. They had a double-digit lead, I won't say halftime, but, the cornerbacks got tired of holding up, and they couldn't get no pressure on Carson Beck. Like I said, no pressure. Carson Beck was not sacked at all last year. I don't even think he was pressured. They beat up on Tennessee. So what's your thoughts? A lot of people talking about this fight, man. I'm gonna have to reorder. Did somebody tell me Netflix is free? Did I read that? Did you hear that for
Netflix,
this?
I ained never not had Netflix for free, but
yeah, I'm gonna order it just for this fight. I have it for a month. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. I know you're not a big boxing guy. This has got a lot of hype on it. Friend at work was asking.
I'm a boxing guy. I'm a boxing guy.
Okay, what's your analysis? I'll let you go first then. I got my information from Jack and Frank from Fist Punch. You ever watch that show online, Jack Hurst? These guys know what the heck they're talking about, man.
I like
Laterizio. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Canelo maybe getting over this. I mean, he's only lost 3 fights, and he what was it, 2 draws, and
he lost to Mayweather very young, 13 years ago. He's in his 20s.
Yeah, but that was a whole like.
Yeah, he's improved a lot since then.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad loss. It was a judge's call. It was controversial,
right.
But
it wasn't a knockout.
Yeah, and so he's a very solid fighter. He gets his job done. He does a good job even blocking and stuff like. He's very, very solid. And I feel like this another fight that he's gonna just be, he has the advantage. The ball's
because Crawford did have to come up to weight,
right?
And he might have a problem with that. Crawford seems to have a better resume. Well, I mean, of course he got better. He's undefeated, and he has beat Julius Indigo and Errol Spencer Jr. That's the one that got my attention, and had a significant victory over Sean Porter. This will be huge for Crawford. I actually like Crawford to get the win.
Oh, wow.
I think he's a very good athlete. I think he'll handle coming up in weight. Their height is it's a lot closer than I thought. One angle looked like Crawford was a little bit taller. The other angle looked like Canelo was a little bit taller. But I'm going with Crawford. I know everything's pretty split. Maybe some are favoring Canelo in a slight advantage there, but I like Crawford to get the win. You like Canelo?
Yeah, I like the experience.
Crawford in a draw, by the way.
Yeah,
or not a draw, a decision, a 12-round decision. Excuse me.
I like that.
Does Canelo? How does Canelo win? TKO, knockout, decision?
No. This is definitely going to go into decision. This is going to judges.
12 rounds, both guys punching on each other. Be done around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, because these aren't knockout hitters, man. They don't knock out too many guys, so it's a different type of weight class, So.
Okay. Anything else you need to plug or whatnot, buddy?
Just trying to work on getting things organized. Was working on some guests to come on the show and things like that. But maybe just try to wrap up the playoffs for baseball and then just get on going for the football season and college season coming up for basketball, NBA, NHL's coming through. Like there's a lot of stuff happening this time of year.
It always comes in September, especially in October. But
in October, yeah. So so we'll see and get ready for Midnight Madness coming on. in November. So like,
I don't even like to look ahead like that because I know the weather's changing.
it's not
I just
ahead.
love seeing
It's in a few weeks. You say ahead, I say a couple weeks. Like you got to put your schedule out like that. If not, you're gonna miss out on a lot of stuff. So
that's true. Mad New Yorker, if I can find the right one. Coming in a little hot. Tennessee, Georgia. All right, buddy. Appreciate you. What that? Yeah. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Don't eat too many chips this week, man. Everybody be safe. And don't forget to tip your Uber driver.
Oh yeah. Yes, me. That's 100.